here. Welcome to BOMISpirit. So I would say this is the weekly intuitive astrology reading for December 9th to the 15th. The astrology portion is going to be relatively short, okay? Just to be frank with you guys. Oh, Lord, okay, I didn't think my hair was this messy. Sorry. You guys know there's a lot going on right now. So a couple things before we get started. If you're new, welcome. Hi. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and all that good stuff. The acoustics in here have changed since I have been moving things. So I announced, I don't know, my last video, that I am in the process of moving. So I've been dealing with that. Also, why the astrology portion is going to be relatively short. And to be honest with you, I even debated about even going live today because I have been, sleep's been rough. Sleep has been rough. And then the move and all that stuff. But also, there's a lot of energy moving through me. And I think also with Mercury and Mars going retrograde, there's like pressure. And this actually was coming through in a channel message I did a couple days ago when I was trying to do the Capricorn reading. God, I'm sorry. I feel like there's so much I need to tell you guys. I'm realizing I'm just kind of smushing it all together. So that's why I put activation warning in the title, just because I know I'm getting blasted energetically, and so you guys may feel that. I took a lot of extra time before coming on here to ground and all that stuff, okay? So if you see me like close my eyes and like talk slower, that's why. There's just a lot of energy, and on top of it, I'm really tired, okay? Back to that collective message that I did, the channeled message. So very similar to what happened with Cancer. I've been trying to do Capricorn forever. I feel like I've tried to do Capricorn like a few times, and another channel message came through, and so that will post here on YouTube probably tomorrow. It depends on when I get around to doing all the things that I do with it. But I did eventually get to Capricorn, and I did Pisces, so that will also post throughout the week. Whenever I get to the rest of the signs is whenever at this point in where I'm at with everything, is whenever I get to them, which I know you guys totally understand. Anything else announcement-wise with that? I think that's it. I am still going to talk about a little bit of the astrology, just because I do want to talk about the current energies, and the way I'm going to speak about it, like I said, is going to be very like short. Well, I say that, and I know myself, once I start, I just go. But I'm going to try to keep it very simple and very straight to the point as much as I can. So there will be some astrology referencing, not that much if you're using the timestamps. Is there something else I wanted to mention? I keep feeling like there's so much more I need to talk about, and I'm like, so if it comes through, it comes through. Heard the Schumann resonance was intense this weekend. Yeah, and I think we also have some solar flares going on top of it. If it's important, it's going to come up, and I'm just going to trust it. So again, there are timestamps. If you're just wanting like readings and things like that, you can obviously like use the timestamps for that. And also like just something to mention, because I noticed this on the last live that I did, which I had to be the Aloha Friday, right? Because it's Monday. When I finish the lives, like when I literally go, bye guys, and I hit done, I go into the title and I change it to timestamped, and then I put the timestamps. There have been a lot of times in the last few lives I've done where people were asking me for asking for the timestamps in the comment section because they didn't see it, or I just was literally in the process of doing it. It does take me a hot minute because I either have to like hop on my computer and do it, or I have to go on my phone, and doing it on my phone's way slower. So just know that like if you're coming to this like right when I've posted it, just give it a hot minute and it'll be there. And it does populate like onto the video itself, so you can just like, do the touch screen thing. Well, I guess you do the touch screen thing anyway. It's always in the description as well. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. I just want to get into it. And like I said, guys, my energy is definitely like a little off, so just, bear with me through that. Let's just start this at 5 minutes. That feels good. That feels good. I've been dragging ass. Dragging ass. Like the last few days being out here. No wonder the rise felt slow, barely going to walk and work out. Hey, Alejandra, hi. Earthquakes and volcanic activities are wild right now, feeling that. I feel that too. Okay. All right, sorry. Let me change the timestamp again. Oh my God, it's gonna be one of those days. It's gonna be one of those days. Okay, so it's funny, dragon ass. Yeah, dragons are a little bit present. Actually, thank you for saying that because I think that's actually worth mentioning. So you have to redo the timestamp. Sorry. Try to roll with it. When I go live for these, I take time to ground and like create the space and create the container, and I call in certain energies and I say my prayers and intentions and all of that stuff. And as I was getting in that space, especially because I've been getting blasted, I'm just a lot more open right now to a lot of things. There's just a lot more things able to move through me. And literally right before I went live, dragon energy came through, and I was like, okay, we do have a lot of internalized fire going on, but it almost felt like a calming, like let's transmute some weirdness is actually how it felt. So if dragons are coming up for you, I wouldn't be surprised. And it's interesting too because it's like we have a lot of fire, we have a lot of air going on. We always have all the elements, obviously, but just speaking to the astrology, right? It's like we have a lot of air and we have a lot of fire right now, with a smidgen of water. And I just felt like dragon energy was coming in to like temper, to be honest, almost like mellow out some of the energies. Okay, new timestamp. Okay, now let's actually talk about some of the current energies. Um, So we do have a continued discovery going on. So if you're new to my channel, I have been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. No earth, of course we have a little bit of earth. It's like predominantly we have a lot of air and fire. So discovery. We have this continued theme of discovery. Now, whatever that means for you, however that rings true for you, that comes in a lot of flavors, okay? When I'm talking about discovery, it's supported by a lot of different aspects right now, including the grand fire trine that we have between Mercury, Mars, and the North Node, and the pseudo grand air trine. Did I say the grand fire trine? I did. I'm just going to trust that I did. Grand air trine between Jupiter, Lilith, and Chericlo. Not everyone believes that that's an actual grand air trine. I believe it is, but that's just my belief. We also have a lot of Pluto activity actually going on as well. And so we have this continued discovery happening. For some people, this discovery is playful. And it's very, sorry. I thought an animal somehow got in my patio. Anyway, let me focus, I'm sorry. With discovery, it can be playful. It can be like that curious childlike energy, right? Also, it can be discovery of certain aspects of self, certain skills, passions, heart desires, big there, especially with Mars retrograding in Leo, as I have talked about already. So just know that this is a continued thing, however it's coming up for you, whether it's coming more through like the inner child and play and fun, or whether it's coming through like a deep dive of self and a discovery, reclamation of self, or it's coming through like in a more passionate, heart-centered way, okay? Something I was channeling. Hold on a second. Oh, it's funny as was what I was just about to talk about too. Something that came through channel wise, releasing stories and narratives. It's coinciding with the throat. Because it is stories and narratives, right? I feel like there's some people in the collective that are going through this little window right now. It's not for everybody, but it's interesting how it feels because it's definitely rooted in belief system. But I also feel like there's really strong ties in the heart space, which would also coincide with Mars retrograding in Leo. But the releasing of stories and narratives can also be experienced as a release of labels, a release of identities, or even masks. For some people, this feels very soft and subtle and almost like the next leg of a very, very long, drawn out process. They're highlighting Jupiter Gemini. I'm going to come back to Jupiter Gemini. There's something very interesting happening there with this end of the year energy, but I'm going to come back to that. But yeah, for some people, it feels very soft and very subtle. And it's like almost like every day, like you're waking up, you're kind of progressively like getting sick and tired of certain narratives and stories, even ones you tell yourself, even ones that you like tend to reiterate to other people. right? Like the script, if you will, that's also coming through, like the script. I do feel like this also coincides with the discovery as well of just like aspects of self and also what really matters to you. Some of you are also realizing how much these stories or narratives or labels have been really getting in the way of really what you just want to experience, right? Because we're always creating our reality, and when we stick to and attach to different stories and narratives or masks or labels or identities, our reality can't shift out of that. Our reality, it almost sets these like really rigid parameters around our reality and what we can experience. So some of you guys are realizing that. Um, excuse me. The other thing I want to mention, at the end of the week on December 15th, we do have the full moon in Gemini. Now, normally I would have already done the live for the full moon Gemini, but you know, with the things going on, I'm trying to keep it in my mind as far as like being able to do it or not. So I haven't decided if I will be able to do it or not on Patreon this week. If I do, it's probably going to be Friday, is my guess. I'm probably only gonna know about, wait, what shit, today's Monday. I'm just trying my best with everything. Um, Probably Friday, maybe Saturday. I'll probably know by Thursday. I'll know by Thursday if I can do it or not. Just letting you guys know. But with the full moon Gemini, as I was tuning into it, just feeling into it, I realized there is this really cool, like, closure that's happening with the full moon Gemini that coincides with Jupiter Gemini. So they're really far away in degrees. So like Jupiter is actually not working with the moon on this full moon, but it's still evoking that energy because it's Gemini. So Jupiter's been in Gemini for most of the year. We actually started out the year with Jupiter sextile Saturn, and then it moved into a square with Saturn, right? And that was part of the really crunchy energy of August and summer. And that square between Jupiter and Saturn is kicking up again. It's going to peak on Christmas Eve on December 24th, not 21st, that's winter solstice. It's going to peak on Christmas Eve. But this time around, that square with Jupiter and Saturn, that also in a way kind of feels like a closure. It doesn't feel like it's going to be as difficult. That aspect in particular is supposed to help us to learn adaptability and teach us how to have faith. It creates this like level of restriction, almost like being put in a corner or even feeling like we can't move the way we want to move. We can't do the things we want to do, especially in terms of like trying new things, and also has forced a lot of us to like let go of a lot of things too, more non-tangible things, like letting go of certain beliefs, opening our minds, letting go of things we're emotionally invested in, which can also relate to external things like work and relationships and things like that. Big tests of faith has come with that square. Now, with this full moon Gemini, there is a really nice closure, like I said, in relation to all of that. So whatever you've been experiencing this year, especially anything that got really difficult around summer, August in particular, especially around that full moon Aquarius on August 19th, that was a day. There is a nice closing out happening. And with it being in Gemini, there's also a sense of like freedom that comes with that, a renewed sense of perception, beliefs, and yeah, and faith, honestly, and faith. Even how we see ourselves in relation to other people, like that's something else that was coming through a bit, like that identity energy that's also been very prevalent this entire year, and being realistic, like the last few years. So just know that with this full moon, it's gonna feel pretty nice, I think, for most people, regardless of some of the other crunchy energies we have going on that I'll talk about in a little bit. Um, it does. It just feels like a closeout. Feels like a closeout. It feels like a release. It also feels like a relief as well. So just know that, okay? Chiron and Vesta have implications there. And Chiron and Vesta also have implications for this week too. But it kind of is already just part of the energy we've been in for a while of this discovery energy, and also finding more ease with getting over our own shit. Okay, getting over our own shit, our own insecurities, our wounds, our trauma, especially in terms of the masks and labels and stories and narratives, especially around being victims, little martyr energy in there, and our own capability and how we believe in ourselves, all of that stuff. I know I'm dropping a lot of stuff here. I really didn't mean to. That was not my intention, but you guys know how I am. Once I get started, I get started. A couple other things I want to mention. The Grand Fire Trine. Now that Mars is retrograding alongside Mercury, which they're both part of this Grand Fire Trine, as is the North Node in Aries, the fire is getting internalized. And I think that's also part of what some of us are feeling right now. So you can experience this in a few ways. When I speak to internalized fire, fire encompassing many things: passion, creativity, sexuality, sensuality, physical energy, our ability to even be physical at all. Also ways that we deal with like tougher emotions like anger, for example, or restlessness or frustration or tension or stress or irritation, those sort of things, right? That's all encompassed in fire. When fire becomes internalized, there are a couple ways that that can be experienced. And I think also your chart would probably help indicate this for you. I feel like people who have a lot of like fire or air in their chart would probably experience this as like intense restlessness. Intense restlessness. For those who have more like water earth, like a lot of water and earth in their chart, you might almost experience an extreme opposite to that, like extreme lethargy. Almost like all your physical energy is just getting like bloop bloop, like it's almost burnt out or something. That's just something I was picking up on for some people, obviously not everybody, right? But just know that as this fire becomes internalized, there's a couple things happening here that also coincide specifically to the Mars retrograde phase that we're going to be in for quite a number of months at this point. Mostly from now until February, some people may experience this as a purging, actually, like almost like that fire that's getting internalized is trying to move and trying to do stuff, and it's going to create space. It's just going to start creating space. And so that's actually going to help us to get very clear on what it is we want, right? Because as that energy moves through the solar, it's going to come up through the heart and out through the throat. So emotions, confidence, all of that stuff. There's going to be a lot of shifts going on in terms of all of that. I do expect that while Mercury is retrograding, which it goes direct on the 15th as well, alongside the full moon in Gemini, that between here and then, there may be some people that just can't contain themselves in terms of just communicating, or even can't contain themselves as far as this energy goes, especially if they're more in like the restless boat versus the like burnt out, lethargic kind of boat. Okay. Whatever needs to come out, it needs to come out. So it might not look pretty. Okay. It might not look pretty, but it's going to be honest. It's going to be very honest. And some of the stuff that comes out, whether it is through communication or you're just going through like a physical purge, if you will, I think it's gonna be very communicative, honestly. Some of the stuff might be the gunk, okay? So some of it might be like repressed feelings, honestly, in the whole spectrum of emotion. For some people, this might be like secret, the word secrets is actually coming through, probably because there's a lot of Pluto activity. I'll get to Pluto in a second. Like secret thoughts that they just can't contain anymore, or even inquiries like if anyone's struggling with feeling insecure with like certain friendships or relationships, you may not be able to contain yourself and just like poke the bear and ask the question. It's also very Mercury Sag. So just giving you examples of how this is coming through. But the North Node component here, it's all a push forward. It's all a push in the right direction. It's all a push in getting over a lot of this old gunky stuff, whatever this gunky stuff is for you. All right. Now, Pluto. Oh, sorry, quick other note. More of this internalized fire is going to be exacerbated by Venus opposing Mars this week. Excuse me, not always a fun aspect. That really kicks up the sexual frustration and intensity for sure. So yeah, just a note that Venus is opposing Mars this entire week. But Pluto's also doing a lot because Pluto is actually working with Ceres and the North Node. So I talked about this a little bit in previous lives. I feel like I'm already getting energy back, just getting all this. I think that's what it is too. It's like when I'm getting ready to do these, I am like marinating in the energies and it's moving through me. And so just the fact that I'm like getting it all out, I'm like, oh my God, I'm starting to feel better. It's like, I'm starting to already feel like all this intense energy is like leaving me. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Pluto. Pluto is conjunct Ceres in Aquarius and is also sextile the North Node in Aries. And so why is this fascinating? Well, the sextile between Pluto and the North Node is going to peak on December 30th. I'm pretty sure for some people, New Year's Eve. So obviously, if you want to look that up, go by all means, go ahead and look that up. But to me, that feels like a major gateway is opening, and that feels really cool. Like, North Node is the future forward push. It's also learning things, and it also has a feeling of dharma. It has a feeling of fate and destiny tied to it. And then you get Pluto in the mix, and Pluto's like, ooh, like, you know what I mean? Pluto's like so ready to make change. Pluto's ready to really enhance your own desires and your focus and your ambition and just take the intensity dial and like ramp it up. So with the sextile being here, it is about creating opportunities that feel serendipitous, if you will, but very life changing and very transformative. For some people, this might just be straight up ideas, but I'm feeling more like external opportunities. So just keep that in mind that the energy is here, but it's going to get more intense and it's going to peak at the very, very end of the year, which is very exciting. The series component is also being subjected to the intensity of Pluto. So series is all about nurturing. And so as we also get closer and like move through this week, you may start to feel like you really just want to start focusing on things that really matter. That's also part of the discovery energy that I've been talking about. And things that matter in terms of, for some people, that's going to translate to the highest good, doing something where you feel like you're doing something for the greater good, doing something that helps other people, affects other people in a positive way, even things that nurture your authentic self and your unique skill set. There's also a bit of like, I keep getting a lot of throat energy as I'm talking about all of this. So there may be this like impulse and desire to want to share a lot. Yeah, they're saying December, throughout the rest of the month. I think Pluto and Aquarius is part of that. I also think Mars and Leo is totally a part of that, especially with the retrograde. Mercury is part of that too, just because Sag does like to share knowledge and information specifically and connect with people. And Mercury will be in Sag for the rest of the month because I do believe the post shadow ends like actually, it might be right around December 30th as well, when Pluto sextile North Node peaks. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's it. So that's what we got going on this week. So just to paraphrase that discovery energy, we have big discovery energy. We have full circle of the year in relation to Gemini, and especially whatever was going on in summer that might have been very crunchy for you in terms of your tests of faith. Let's make a retrograde. Your tests of faith and dealing with the unknown and being adaptable, dropping stories, dropping narratives, opening the mind, allowing for the parameters of your reality to shift and be malleable so you can actually experience different things and you can move into a different version of self. That is across the board for so many people. And I know we've been talking about it, but there are a lot of energies that specifically target that. North Node Aries targets that. Cheroklo in Aquarius targets that. Jupiter in Gemini targets that. Chiron in Aries targets that. It's just been the energy that we have been under as a collective for a while, and it's just been what's on board. And then, of course, the Grand Fire Trine and the Pseudo Grand Air Trine. Okay? Okay, cool. Oh, excuse me. Rereading The Alchemist because of all this crunchy energy. I do love that story. I really do. I actually attempted to read a different book by that same author earlier this year, and it was such a different vibe. I was excited because it was literally the book he wrote right after The Alchemist. And I was like, oh, it's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. And I started it and I was like, I could barely get through the first chapter. It had so much ick factor throughout it, like a lot of weird, like male fantasy, misogyny stuff, which I did not anticipate. And I'm like, all right, The Alchemist, maybe that was just a moment. It's like, I don't know. Because the next book was really bizarre, but I do love The Alchemist. If you guys have never read The Alchemist, I highly recommend it. It should be an Audible. I mean, it's a classic. It should be an Audible. Yeah. All right. So do we even need to do collective? I kind of feel like we don't need to. I feel like it's very clear. All right, we will. They're encouraging me, so we will. Oh, damn it. Oh, whatever. I'm not in the mood right now. I'll pick it up when I need it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Big Bertha, which for those who are new, shit. Okay, that was weird. Can't even explain what just happened. The energy's weird right now. She is a combination deck of the Angels and Ancestors and Starseed Oracle. So let's go ahead and get started. I literally cannot explain what just happened. That was the most freaky thing I've seen in a while. Okay, anyway. So curious about the collective and reads. And I'm not, if you know what I mean, LOL. Yeah, same. I do actually. Been dropping stuff left and right. It was just weird. So I have I always have a little altar space when I'm doing readings. It just feels appropriate. And I have all the elements or something representing all the elements. And so I had, actually, let me relight that. I had a candle that was lit. And for water, I have a little shell to represent water. And I dropped the books that I was showing you, and it hit the shell just right to flip up in the air and then land right on the candle, perfectly to just burn it out. It's like, oh. It's reminding me of tempering, actually. That's interesting. Tempering the water with the fire. Or fire with the water. Anyway. Anyway. Some energies won't be able to contain themselves. Yeah. It's okay. There's something going on with water. Because okay, words, I'm so sorry. I've worked with a lot of different God, goddess energies, right, in the last however many years. And you know how it is. It's sometimes you're you know what? I think I need to start working with that one again. I think I need to start working with them again. Or sometimes if you're just getting into the space for, for a reading or other, sometimes you're you know what? I think I need them in the space today. So I actually brought Yamaya very specifically into the space today. And now I'm oh, and the shell. Yeah, there's okay. So yeah, there's something going on with water and fire. And I feel it is about that intensified, internalized fire, right? That I keep referencing. Actually, I feel this came up in the channel message that I did. Oh, Lord, I don't remember. There's been way too much going on and my crown hurts. Because when the energy moves up and through, it is going to, for most people, it's going to start happening in the solar. And then it's going to come through the heart, which actually is air, but we hold so much emotion up here, which we associate with water, right? So it's I feel that's part of it. As the fire gets intensified, allow it to do what it needs to do to come all the way up and through. That's almost what I want to say in reference to all of this, little messages we've been getting today. I think my fire signs may have a natural resistance to this. Actually, this makes sense. This might be why air and fire may have this restless energy, because you may have a natural inclination to not allow it to move through the heart space. Allow it to move through the heart space. You're gonna feel much more comfortable, I promise. Okay? Hey, did I drop a card? That's what I thought. I'm gonna take it. Broken arrow, and embrace the energy of peace. And I heard rest. And rest. Oh, that's interesting. Embrace the energy of peace and rest. I'm getting a lot of things now. Okay, they just showed me a couple cards from the archetype deck, Offering and Mother, which also just makes me think about Yamaya, right? But with Offering and Mother, it's I'm getting a couple things of definitely practicing some gentility and forgiveness, but there is a relinquishing happening there as well. I also, at the same time, I'm just gonna try to articulate myself as best possible, how things move through me. I always try to filter it for you guys because it's a lot, but I'm having a hard time today. So you're just getting the raw information here. So at the same time, I was also getting that the people who can't contain themselves right now. There may be people who can't contain themselves with you verbally, and there's almost this it's a window and it's a choice. It's a free will choice. Do what you want with it. It's almost like relinquish the moment. Just kind of weird how that's coming through, but like highlighting Yamaya, water, the mother, that compassion, that forgiveness. It's like to recognize what is actually happening with people. And yeah, they're saying relinquish the moment, like relinquish the moment, relinquish the moment. If you get like triggered or upset by some of these people who can't contain themselves, like that's what I keep hearing, just relinquish it. Just relinquish it. Like if you get triggered within yourself, relinquish the trigger. Like just release it. Like, and I think that's tied to the stories and the narratives as well. Because sometimes, and I'm not saying to do this in every single moment, it's just something that's coming through as guidance from spirit. Use your discernment, please. Like you are the masters of your own lives. You have your own compass. You know what's best for you in any given moment. Okay. But that there may be certain experiences and what I'm speaking about where it might be best to just relinquish the trigger because it's actually tied to a story or narrative you're holding, okay, that actually doesn't serve you at all. Embrace the energy of peace. Embrace the energy of peace. Even if you're the one who like can't contain yourself, it's up to you to give yourself peace. That's on you to give yourself peace. Relinquish is to give up. Relinquish is to give up. Oh my goodness. So we have strong like water mother energy, like wanting to be in this space, and I really do feel like it's because there's so much fire. Excuse me. We have trader, exchange energy to create abundance. I'm really feeling the Sag energy there. Direction, guardian, choose your path, and then earth, learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. I feel like this is coinciding with the energy of peace. Right? It's like recognizing that we do have the option in any given moment to give ourselves peace. And the responsibility as well is our own to give ourselves that. But like, even if you can see someone is like not peaceful and they're like trying to drag you into that, it's still your responsibility to navigate accordingly for yourself, to not get sucked into that, but also like to just recognize where people are at and like just have compassion for that and to like really not take it personal. I understand that sometimes it's hard not to, it's very human to, but yeah, it's like having one foot in and one foot out, right? Of the physical reality, the human moment that's happening, but then also the very like the spiritual implications that are at play too. With this though, with trader and then direction guardian, this is something else that's interesting because I feel that discovery energy and I feel that Sag energy here too. So this is kind of the caveat about all this energy right now. The more you allow yourselves, the more, I'm gonna say we, the more we allow ourselves to be open and adaptable to relinquish these stories, these narratives, these labels, these masks, these identities. I almost heard walls. Excuse me, walls. The more we are able to really discover what we haven't been open to before, what we've had a hard time accepting, what has been in front of our faces the whole time, in terms of our heart's desire, in terms of knowledge, in terms of wisdom, in terms of options, in terms of our own passions. I just heard inclinations, interesting. And just truly what is possible and truly what is available. And with Direction Guardian, for some people, that's actually going to help you get a very solid and clear as far as, again, how you want to navigate your life or navigate certain relationships or opportunities, and really how you want to form the reality you're in. So something else that I'm going to bring up here that I've spoken about before, but I haven't spoken about super recently, is that we also have this window at the end of the year from winter solstice all the way, well, to the end, to New Year's Eve. We have these windows all the time. Okay, this is not a new window. It's not anything super grandiose. And I also want to preface it with that. But it definitely is a window of anchoring your decisions. Okay, anchoring certain decisions. It's just a window where it feels like, and I think because of Pluto being sextile the North Node, especially, it's a window where we can really easily step through into different realities, into elevated realities. You can look at that as manifestation if you want, but it's really about putting our realities on the track we want to put them on and have it really be of our own making. It's just going to be easier. Okay. So, decisions time is coming through with Direction Guardian. I'm going to say that again. Winter solstice to New Year's Eve is that window. Okay. It's not like anything terrible is going to happen if you don't utilize that window. Nothing awful is going to happen to you. It's just a window where it's going to be easier to do that. Okay. I will say, though, as a result of everyone's decision, there is also a collective reality that's always at play that is rooted in every individual's decision process, right? So, I mean, to put it in like very simple terms, which is like not super exact as to like how it actually occurs, but based off of all the decisions everyone in the entire collective is making at any given point, there is like an average baseline reality that is collectively lived out because of those choices. So that is a thing. That is a thing. Can there be a divergence happening here, like how we had in the pandemic? It's possible. I don't even think you need to even let your minds go there, because your choices, your peace, your life is really all that you have control over and is really all that matters. Okay. So if you're like making your choices and living your life in a way where you are truly trying to embrace peace and abundance and joy, and also try to share that with others, or just be an example of that for others, that's it. Like that's all you need to do as far as like helping the collective, right? That is holding the light, that is holding the frequency, that is holding the space for like a higher timeline for all of us to get on board together with. Anyway, I just wanted to talk on that a little bit. Okay, so I did. All right, let's get a couple other cards out here. But yeah, be open right now. Be open right now to discovery. Okay. Any other messages for the collective, please? Ooh, I like it. Warrior, be fearless and stand strong. I love that this is here because I feel like this is speaking to the bravery of being open, to be honest with you. And also the bravery of like when you're confronted with like people who are not flowing with these energies and people who can't contain, including yourself. It's like it's taking a very responsible and a very brave and a very almost detached way of looking at things. It's very masculine. Because it's necessary to make the difficult choices as well. That's also what I'm getting. It's necessary to make the difficult choices. That, you know, it's interesting. The difficult choices that are also just healthy for you. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I want to be very careful with my words. It's not like a don't back down. I'm trying to think of the right way to say this. It's not abrasive. That's what it is. Thank you. It's not an abrasive warrior taking a stance, masculine sort of a thing. It's just being very rooted and centered in who you are, right? Which always works really well. And just recognizing what things are and recognizing that sometimes things can be difficult as far as making certain choices that are in your highest good, but doing it accordingly. Can I get one more, please? Oh, I love this card. Surrender to sweetness. Venus energy. So there's strong masculine, feminine polarity showing up. Not surprising. Venus is opposing Mars this week. Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. And that's what was coming in over here. So again, be open right now. Be open, be receptive, to discovery, because it can lead to certain situations, opportunities, a life, a reality that maybe you didn't even know how good it could be. Like, that's the power of letting go and detaching from stories and labels and masks and identities and all the other shit. Because all that does is literally create a restriction on what is possible. And this is taking all those restrictions away. How's a little flavor of believe in magic again? How's a little flavor of that? Yeah. Okay. And on the bottom, your life is a canvas. Artist, manifestation, creative accountability. That's a big keyword there, creative accountability. You don't like your reality? You don't like your life? Start being open to how it could be different. It doesn't have to be an instant thing. It doesn't have to be an overnight thing. It doesn't have to be big. It could even be minor. But we do need to be accountable to how our own stories and narratives shape our reality and create the reality we choose, but also add to the collective reality we all experience. And I'm just going to say it. And I know I've said it before, and I know some people may be triggered by this, but if you want to feed the fear mongering, if you want to feed the timeline where things are going to shit or things are going to be hard, even saying those words like, oh, things are going to be hard, things are going to be a struggle, things are going to go to shit, like, that's a spell. And if you want to believe in that, you can believe in that. I'm not going to tell you what to believe in. But that doesn't have to be the reality. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I definitely could be better at certain narratives and stories of my own. Like, absolutely. I am human at the end of the day. But we all need to be more accountable. Not just for ourselves, but for the collective. Like, we all need to be a little bit more accountable. Okay? All right. Moving on. That was my little soapbox moment. Are we doing signs or elements today? Are we doing signs or elements? Now that I'm like in the groove, I'm like, I just want to stay here for hours now. Just do readings and channelings. Instead of packing and moving boxes. Okay. I'm really feeling the pull to the elements, but I want to do signs. I don't know, there's something about it. I am feeling the call to elements, though. There's probably a reason for that. There's probably a reason for that. Yeah, all right. I just got to follow it. All right, we're doing elements today. Sorry, guys. It's the flow. It's the flow of the energy right now. Earth, air, fire, or water. Earth, air, fire, or water. Fire wants to go first. Okay. All right. Fire signs. What's going on for my fire signs? Since we're doing elements, we can like really sit in the energies for a while. Okay. Let's do the pocket archetypes. We'll start there. We'll do some animals, and we'll do some tarot. Fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay. I feel like there's like, I'm getting the word dramatization, fire signs. It's weird. They're showing me like almost like old black and white kind of like horror, like movie-esque is kind of like the vibes that I'm getting. Sorry, there's like now that I'm saying that, there's like activity all of a sudden going on outside. Yeah, I'm getting just dramatization. Oh yes, thank you for the reminder. Happy birthday, Saggies. Aries, Leo, Sag, Aries, Leo, Sag. Such an interesting visual for my fire signs. Okay. Okay, so they kept giving me like black and white. Now I'm getting this like burst of neon green. It's almost very like psychedelic. Green to me always says the heart space. Could even be in reference to health, healthier mindsets, healthier lifestyles. The dramatization, though, I keep getting pulled back to that, and I'm wondering if this has to do with Leo, like the Mars retrograding in Leo, right? Because even like the reference of like old school horror movie, that's like literally like fiction, right? It's like fictional storytelling in a dramatic way, but the green coming through is really screaming about the heart space. It's very interesting. Fire signs. Any messages or insights for my fire signs? Almost like that green, like super bright light wants to just like overshadow all of it. Fire signs. Some of you guys may be I want to say looping on fears. Or maybe you feel like you're watching your biggest fear come to life. You're being confronted by your own personal boogeyman, Frankenstein. I'm getting like old school monsters. Dracula, The Thing. Like that is kind of how it feels. Okay, yeah, they're saying yes, yes, yes. Whatever you're dealing with right now, fire signs, it's making you confront your deepest fear is how that's coming through. Your personal swamp monster. Okay. Any messages or insights for my fire signs? Oh, excuse me. Thanatos. Kind of has like a black and white kind of old school horror movie vibe to it, doesn't it? With Thanatos. Big spider energy coming through. You guys could be getting spiders as a synchronicity, or you could like be in this place of looking at different networks you're a part of, what you have like created for yourself and what you're connected to. Like the threads are really standing out here to me for you. I'm also getting this feeling of being kind of trapped. It's giving me a little bit of Eight of Swords. I feel like I channeled this for somebody recently. Like a trap of your own making. Like you created something and then now you're trapped in it and you need to get out. I feel like I channeled that for someone recently. If anyone remembers, by all means, throw it out there. I think it was an Alive for a sign reading. I don't think it was a individual sign reading. I think it was like an Aloha Friday or a weekly. I forgot who I channeled that for, but that's kind of what I'm getting here with you. You've kind of created a web for yourself and you need to wiggle out of it. You need to break out of it. And I feel like all the threads are like fears and thoughts and narratives. I know I channeled this for somebody. You created it and now you're in it. You're stuck in it. It was Sag? Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Can I get another card for my fire signs, please? For Aries, Leo, Sag. Oh, is that a heart? Wait, what is that in the center? Oh, I don't think I've ever like closely looked at the center. It's kind of grotesque. Like I see a face, I see a foot, I see some hands. It's like body parts. Like, can you guys see that? Hold on, I'm trying to get it to focus. I don't think it wants to focus. It's hard to see, but it's like body parts are like in the center. Okay. Ew, I know. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Okay. Can I get another card for my fire signs? Yep, there it is. The healer. Yeah, so fire signs. I feel like what's going on with this like green light that I keep seeing, it is about the heart space and it is about healing whatever caused you to get yourself in this web. And I do want to say you created it and you put yourself in the center of it and now you're stuck in your own web. But the web, it's like, even with like the contrast of black and white, it's like, it's interesting. Because when you have such contrast like that, like black and white versus color, it's like you're working in the realm of extremes, right? You're not working in the realm of full spectrum experiences, feelings, thoughts. It's like there's something fragmented about it, which can, again, just speak to fears and illusions and projections and things like that. I feel like the web you created, it did come from a place of needing to protect yourself. I do feel that. Needing to protect yourself or coming from a mindset that is rooted in, well, fear. Fear. But that's why healer is here. Healer is here to say, okay, you want to break out of that web? Let's get into why you created that web in the first place and deal with what drove you to do that. And let's be done with that. And get a third card for my fire signs. Yeah, it's so weird. Even the body parts in the middle, right? This like fragmented energy. It's really highlighting parts. Like parts of self, not the whole self. Parts of the self created this, not your whole self. There's a really good book called No Bad Parts. I think I mentioned it before, like probably months ago. That's kind of what's coming through here. It's a really, really, really great book for anybody who's like doing, some of their healing and growth and self-reflection and all that stuff. I just got brought back to it. So maybe some of you guys would benefit from that book. No Bad Parts. Can I get a third card, please, for my fire signs? Aries, Leo. So I just got a whiff of Venus. That was weird. Just got like a wave of Venus energy. Oh, the Starborn. I like it. I like it a lot. I just feel like there's so much color symbolically coming forward for you out of this like contrasted black, white, dramatized horror movie kind of vibe. The Starborn can speak to like starseed energy, but I also feel like it's about like your unique magic, your unique essence of you like breaking up and out. And that's also happening because of the healer. Even when they showed me that like neon green energy, it was like it's trying to like burst out and basically I said the word before, overshadow all of this, like just like leave it in its dust in a way, if you will. And that's kind of what I'm getting here. Some of you guys, is absolutely going to be a heart opening. Okay. All right. Let's get some animals. Using the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck by Kim Kranz, which is linked below. For my fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. Relinquish the creepiness. LOL. Don't be creepy. Okay. Keep in mind, right, when we're like doing readings like this, it's energy, it's not linear. So it could be about someone you know, it doesn't have to be you. Any other messages or insights for my fire signs? Yeah. Not surprising, we have oyster. Oyster, it can come in a couple different flavors. It can speak of protection. It can speak of boundaries. It can speak of something being just closed off. But I feel like it's literally about like being stuck in the web of your own making. Some of you, it's just like a mental looping that's happening. Some of you, it's actually a reality or a job situation or a house situation, a relationship that you have co-created or cultivated, and now you're stuck in it and you can't get out. But what really can't get out is your heart. What really can't break free, hold on, I was gonna say, are your true colors. Are your true colors, your true essence can't break out of this. You will. I'm not saying you can't. You obviously can. But it's gonna take that like allowing that energy to get into your heart, right? On the egg and now the oyster. I love the similarity, right? Anything else for my fire signs? Aries, Leo, Sag. Oh! I love it. It's not green, but it's yellow. Oh, I love it. Golden egg. So for those who don't know this deck or my videos, the golden egg is the heart chakra. Like specifically, it is the heart. It is the heart space. And that golden egg with that like golden light. I mean, to me, that just feels like that's what's waiting behind the oyster. That, and again, the symbology of the egg, even, right? It's like this is what's trying, this is what wants to break free. It's your heart, but it's you. Like, again, speaking to parts, right? It's like even the way we talk about things, I'm getting pulled back to like getting done away with certain labels, even like certain verbiage. Um, for yourself, you may notice like certain words you just don't want to use anymore, or you might start using new words, or people around you might. Thank you. We may even see this on a collective scale, like in media, like certain words starting to be used and done away with. But yeah, the golden egg, while it is your heart and the heart space and the heart chakra, it's also just you. You are your heart, you are your mind, you are your body. It's just you. Can I get, excuse me, can I get a third card for my fire signs, please? Aries, Leo, Sag. Oh, interesting. Fire. I feel like this is totally what I was just seeing with the collective. Cheetah, this is Yang. This actually speaks to the solar plexus. This is kind of my Eight of Wands card. Remember what I was saying about this collective energy of discovery, and with Mars retrograding in particular, that we're going to have a lot of internalized fire, and it's going to build probably through the solar, which this represents, and it's going to come up through the heart to bust out and open. So again, very collective, but it's coming through in the fire signs because it does also pertain to a lot of the grand fire trine energy that is at play astrologically. So that's why it's coming through your reading here. Okay. Just let this flow. Okay. That's the key here, fire signs. You got, like, when this energy comes in, and you probably are already feeling it, let it come up and out. Like, let it move through your heart, okay? Because that's where it wants to go anyway. But again, you may feel very uncomfortable with this, but that's how you're going to break out of the web. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and get some tarot cards. I dropped a deck, so we're not going to use that deck. It's good I have a couple others. Yeah, we'll do Crystal Unicorn. Let's do Crystal Unicorn. Meditation is only one form of yoga. Look up heart opening poses and practice one. Yeah. All right. Any other messages or insights from your fire signs? Oh, excuse me. Tell me, actually, let's start from cheetah, golden egg, and an oyster. Let's move that way. Tell me about cheetah for my fire signs. Tell me about cheetah for fire signs. Interesting. So first card to come out, we have the Nine of Wands with cheetah. Oh, getting a I'm feeling like a tightrope. I'm feeling tension. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling tension with this. So on one hand, I'm almost feeling like with the Nine of Wands, sometimes it's my Wounded Warrior card, right? Because Nine of Wands can be resilience and stamina and like not wanting to give up. But sometimes it can also be an energy that is about being guarded, right? Because we have been through a lot, right? That's also why our little unicorn's all bandaged up and everything. So on one layer of the energy, it's like I'm feeling this like very beaten up self. I gotta be honest, like a sense, like a part, another part coming through, a part of the self, an aspect of the self that feels just like you've been through a lot. And to be honest, it almost is creating this feeling of like avoidance with the cheetah, like taking all that fire and like misusing it, or like putting it into outlets that are not productive, or maybe not even putting it into an outlet at all. It just, I'm getting like a misuse of fire out of feeling like well, yeah, I just keep getting like beaten up by life a little bit. Our own stories of being beaten up, our own stories of victimization, right? Like, I've gone through this, I've gone through that, and that's who I am. So because this is who I am, this is how I act accordingly. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting here on one level of the energy. But also on another, I'm getting this like it's like fireball, fireball energy that like wants to go somewhere. Mm. I keep hearing outlets, outlets, outlets. Be mindful of however you're using your fire signs, because there's something about the outlets that feels not the most efficient. Like, not the most efficient, not the most productive, or even like just coming down to it, misused. Like, there's a better way to channel this energy, which I mean, I think they're alluding to moving it up through the heart space, right? Get another card for Cheetah. Get another card for the Cheetah, please. Oh, interesting. Some of you, there is almost like a Two of Swords, Two of Wands energy happening here, where there is another parts. There's a part of you that wants to head into new things, head into new directions, try different, yeah, like to have the proper outlets for your fire. Some of you actually feel called or pulled in your sense of passion to put your passion and fiery energy into something. And then there's another part of you that says, don't do it. Like, you want to move left, but then this more, I'm hearing the storyteller, interesting. The storyteller part of you, the part of you that's rooted in these narratives, these stories, these labels, these masks, these stories of victimization, for some of you is like saying no. So for some of you, you want to go left, but a big part of you is like trying to make sure you don't. That's interesting. Okay, can I get a second card for Cheetah? Just feels like a lot of fire and internal conflict for the most part. Can I get another card for Cheetah for my fire signs? Oh, the Tower. That makes me want to do a lot of breathing. Okay, I like that the Tower is here, because it's basically saying this fire will not be contained. It won't be contained. It won't be utilized in the ways you've utilized it before. The Tower is coming in to basically like, let's set the fire free in the direction it needs to go, is kind of what I'm getting with this. So for those that where you're having a bit of a tug of war of, I want to go left, but a part of me is making me go right, or wants to go right, that part of you that wants to go right, you're about to see why that part of you exists, why that's there, and how it's been holding you back. Okay. For those where this is really just more of that like really intensely internalized fire, and you are just trying to do what you've always done, but it's maybe not working out so well, the Tower's coming in to say, let's be done with that and let's try something different. Okay, let's look at the golden egg. Let's look at the heart space. I'm so sorry, I always watch your lives after the fact. Any spiritual advice for fellow Mars and Gemini people? Oh, Dan, that's okay. I mean, I go live when I can. I don't, you know what I mean? I just expect people to like watch when they want and watch what they want. For Mars Gemini people, given them a Mars Gemini person, I mean, it would really depend on like what house it's in, honestly, because like I mentioned to people, mine's in the 12th house, so it kind of acts a little funky when it's in the 12th house. But if your Mars is Gemini, you've been experiencing like an amplified experience of it, an intensified experience of it, because Jupiter's been in Gemini, right? And also just a quick note, like because Mars is retrograde, regardless of whatever your Mars sign is, there's probably something going on with it because Mars is retrograde, and in a way it almost like ripples through that like the Mars energy collectively. So just something to know for everybody. I'm just gonna tune in for like what advice even wants to be given generally for you with that. Don't go everywhere all at once is almost what they want to say there. Like almost feel like, I don't know if you're experiencing this, but maybe you are, because it's just how they're saying it. you may have this temptation, like you want to like be everywhere. Like it feels very like location based. Like you want to go to this place and then you like, but you also want to go to this cafe, but then you want to go and like take a vacation here. Like you're not going to be able to be everywhere all at once. So prioritize and ground and start to really, yeah, like ground and assess like what really is important and what your priority really should be based off of what actually matters to you deep down. Like what can you just do away with? Like it's fun to have a lot of experiences, but you don't need a lot of experiences either. So that's just kind of your personal advice that was coming through. Okay, golden egg. Let's look at golden egg for my fire signs. What's going on with the golden egg for Aries, Leo, Sag? Ooh, it's giving me tingles. It's giving me like butterflies a little bit with golden egg. Yeah, it's giving me a little bit of like Page of Wands, Six of Cups. Like I feel like I'm literally being like tickled from the inside. It's like very interesting. There's something very fun in your heart, fire signs, that wants to come out. Talking about the golden egg for my fire signs. It's giving a little bit of fantasy. It's giving a little bit of childlike energy, but I feel excitement there. Almost giddiness, which again is very childlike. Queen of Cups, well, that's not surprising. Cancer energy, but Queen of Cups is emotional. Queen of Cups does affect the heart space quite a bit. Queen of Cups is healing, introspective, psychic, compassionate, is also the mother. I do feel like, a couple things. There's definitely a call to like nurture the self emotionally. To be, yeah, again, to be like very gentle with the self. And I'm also encouraging to be gentle and encouraging with the self. I keep feeling butterflies. Like an excited, nervous stomach, like is what I keep feeling. Oh, Three of Swords is why the nurturing is called for. Okay, so yeah, fire signs. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. There's definitely a need to be gentle with your emotions and your heart, because there's clearly some healing that wants to take place there. We have 10 of Cups at the bottom. Some of this may be in terms of maternal energies or mother-like energies, or even just female-like energies. Okay, and I say energies doesn't have to be people, but obviously that can translate to women, right? Let's see. A lot of feminine energy here all of a sudden. Ooh, the Moon and the Seven of Cups. Oh, popping the cork is what I'm hearing. Popping the cork, popping the cork. Fire signs. Some of you have like corked away certain emotions for a very, very, very long time. Like they're literally showing it to me like pop the cork so it can all finally just like come out like a champagne bottle. The Moon with the Seven of Cups is kind of the epitome of confusion. It can also be mental health distress, okay? I'm just going to put it that way. Mental health distress, especially with the Three of Swords being here. Some of you have bottled away certain emotions and feelings for so long, you don't even know what they're tied to. It just feels like emotion. It just feels like emotion. Don't make sense of it. Don't make sense of it. This is why the stories and the narratives are troublesome, right? You don't need to make sense of it. You just have to feel it. You don't need to make sense of it. You just have to feel it. Why do I keep getting butterflies though? Maybe that's what's underneath all of this as well. It's like this is the gunk, right? This is the gunk. Once you deal with the gunk, the butterflies, the excitement, the giddiness can finally have space to be experienced. I want to get another card for this. We have Ace of Wands at the bottom, right? Can I get one more card for the golden egg? Oh my God. Five of Swords. We also have King of Wands at the bottom, which I feel like is you showing up here. Someone was asking about water signs. We're doing fire right now, but there's definitely something going on with fire where they do need water, okay? They definitely need some get into their waters this week. Yeah, I keep wanting to say, like, don't fight, don't fight. Don't fight these feelings. Don't try to understand them. Don't try to intellectualize them. Just feel. Just feel them. They don't have to make sense, and a lot of times they don't because they're emotion. It's not an intellectual endeavor, is what I want to say. It's not a puzzle to figure out. You just got to feel it. Can I get one more? God, there's a lot buried down in here, fire signs. Can I get one more, please? Yeah, finally we get down to the heart. Yeah, so there's some layers here. There be some layers, fire signs. The Ace of Cups and the Five of Swords. I'm also getting this this also is screaming trigger to me, like tendency to be easily triggered because of whatever is underlying in the heart space. And I feel like there's just layers that need to be moved through with the heart. And some of you, this may take like the entirety of the Mars retrograde phase. I gotta be honest with you, because this is also what we're going through with Mars retrograde, especially when it goes into Cancer. It's gonna get a lot more emotional, okay? It doesn't have to be that long. It doesn't have to be. It's going to be different for everybody. The 7 and the Ace, there's a 6 of Cups here, which is the feeling I was getting. And I feel like that giddiness, that excitement, the butterflies, the childlike curiosity and play and wonder is the gift of peeling back these layers and moving through all of this, okay? It is there because it is you. That's also part of the starborn energy. And you deserve to feel those things, right? Not this other gunk. You gotta get rid of the gunk to feel these things. Okay, oyster. Let's look at oyster for my fire signs. I feel like it's gonna be very straightforward on the oyster. Nice. Chariot, Cancer energy. This is about being triumphant in this process. This is also forward movement. Sometimes Chariot is also my card for ascension. I'm hearing the word accelerate. I'm hearing the word accelerate. Some of you guys may be getting a new car. Something about a car is coming through. Accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. As a result of getting in the heart, you may want to like speed something up. Let's get more on the oyster. Woo. Oh. Oh, is that why you were also giddy or getting giddy? 2 of Cups. Can this be about alignment of self? Absolutely, but I do feel like this is also speaking to a relationship. So as a result of all of this, your relationships or a certain relationship may also accelerate, okay, based off of this work that you're going to be moving through in your heart space. Because your heart's going to be open, right? Your heart's going to be open. And there's the Page of Wands. I was feeling excited and giddy. Excited, giddy, and playful. Ready to play with others. That's also what I'm feeling here. Ready to play with others. Again, doesn't have to be romantic. 2 of Cups is just like, I see you, you see me. I feel you, you feel me. Oh, you get me, I get you. Like, that's what the 2 of Cups is. And Page of Wands is that childlike energy. Like I said, I was feeling, but exchanging that with other people. Yeah, I feel like just accelerated relationships as a result. I think that's also something you've been wanting, fire signs, like to have more of that kind of closeness with other people, but you haven't been able to because of this stuff. All right. All right, let's move on. You're still at the bottom too. All right. Let's see. Ready to play. That's what I say. Ready to play. Ready to mingle like a Pringle. Okay. Earth, air, or water? Feeling earth signs. Okay. By the way, I realize, like, me saying that when I'm like, oh, earth, air, fire, water. I'm not actually asking. I'm sorry. I realize it could come off that way. It's just how I call the energies forward so I can feel into them. That's all. Sorry if that's confusing. I just realized that could be very confusing. Okay, earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Keep getting stuff about cars with everybody. I mean, I guess it's that season too, to be buying cars. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I feel like you guys are traveling. Like I can't, like I literally feel like you're in a car right now. I can't get away from that feeling. And again, lots of travel. It is that time of year. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Any messages or insights for my earth signs? Any messages or insights for my earth signs? I keep just getting the same visual. This is so bizarre. I keep literally just seeing a man driving a car and almost like I'm in the passenger seat looking at him. It's very strange. And it's just like, I don't know what this visual is supposed to tell me. Oh, that's the Chariot. Duh, that is the Chariot card. The Emperor drives the Chariot. Okay, so Chariot energy coming through. That's been coming up a lot for people. Earth signs, earth signs. I do feel like you have a sense of focus and determination right now. The only thing I would say is like, you know, due to the collective energies that we have at play, just make sure you are like being open and adaptable and not too fixed almost. I'm getting like really strong Taurus energy here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They're showing me the star card. I feel like earth signs, you're like so focused on that star card, like energy. For those who don't know what that is, it's wish fulfillment. It's healing, it's truth, it's enlightenment. It's like a north node, north star compass kind of an energy that I'm getting with you. And like, you're just really, really focused, which is great. I mean, hey, that's determination. That's awesome. I just want to encourage adaptability is all. Okay, earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah, like, oh my God, I can't get away from it. This could be someone you know, it doesn't have to be you, but it's like someone I want to say has a one-track mind right now on what the goal is, and they're going to get there no matter what. It's very earth sign. But it does feel very one-track mind. Like they're not going to take any side routes. They've mapped out their road plan. They're sticking to that road, and they're going to get there before the sun goes down. Like it's very determined. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, very emperor-like. Oh, well, that does speak to that. We have the vow. The vow is a vow. It's commitment. It's being committed. It's being devoted to an intention, to a promise. I feel that. Definitely feel that. It's hyper-focused. Anything else for my earth signs for Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Ooh. Oh, yeah. The seed. The seed sometimes speaks to the plantings of the beginnings of a plan or the beginnings of a journey. I feel like this is just you carrying something out. Again, it's very clear, like one track mind, I will get there, I will not deviate, I will make this happen. And you're just sticking to it and you're carrying out the task. Can I get a third card for my earth signs? Oh. Apocalypsis. So it's interesting having apocalypsis here because apocalypsis is like clearing the board, clearing the decks, like majorly. It does kind of coincide with seed as far as like major clearing to like planting a beginning. And maybe that's what's happening for your earth signs. Maybe this is why you're so determined, because maybe what you're leaving behind is just nothing. Maybe you've cleared the decks. Maybe you've burned the bridge. And you need to carry this out, like there is no choice. It's kind of feeling that way. God, even though like the yellow, gold, some of you guys can be drawn to gold and yellow right now. Not gold and yellow, sorry, black. That's what I should say. Black and gold right now. Black and gold are power colors together. Wearing them together evokes empowerment. Yeah, earth signs, this is like a super specific reading. I don't know who this is for. I don't know who needs to hear this. Even the seed is gold. Even the seed is gold. I feel like you're leaving behind rubble. And you have to carry this out because there is no other choice. Some of you cleared the decks intentionally. Some of you, it was out of your control and you don't have a choice. It's how you feel about it. We also have box. I feel like the box is shattered. The box is, it's a box, right? It's like it's contained. Sometimes it is through rigid means, kind of like these stories and narratives that we're talking about. The box is shattered for you. This is why it's like that. Even the visual of like, no, you're on a road and you need to go and you need to get there. Okay. I hope everything's okay. Earth signs, I hope everything's okay. But you're feeling like you're holding on to empowerment right now. Hold on. Funky hair day. Whatever. It is what it is. Okay. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. God, I almost want to say too, just like calm. I'm getting a little bit of anxiety, like if this was like speaking to the metaphor, it's like you're going like over 100 miles an hour trying to get to where you're trying to get to. I feel like you're gonna get there. It's like I don't think you need to outrun anything, but it has that feeling like you're trying to like meet a deadline or something like that, or you're like trying to outrun a storm is almost how this feels. But I don't think you are. I just think that's the pressure you're putting on yourself, the anxiety factor. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel like this is you seeing the road ahead. We have Owl and Camel. Owl is like a psychic intuitive energy. Normally speaks to really good things coming in. Camel is a hard-working energy. It's resilience, it's stamina, it's planning, it's resourcefulness, it's resilience, it's I'm going to get through this. And I feel like you're seeing the way through and you're just wanting to stick with it. It's like you feel like you see the right way, so you're just going to make it happen. It's very earth sign. Okay. Some of you, whatever you're leaving behind, I want to say, and they're showing me the 10 of Wands, whatever you were leaving behind here in Apocalypsis, I just heard broke the camel's back. Was back-breaking, maybe back-breaking work, back-breaking labor for some of you, especially if it's like a work situation. But it also just has that feeling of like just carrying too much, just carrying too much burden, too much stress. And something had to give. Something had to give. Are you running away from someone or something? It has this feeling of running. It does. The cards don't say it, but I feel it. It's just that kind of anxiety. Anything else for my earth signs? Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Okay, Lion, Mastery of Fire. I like that this is out here for you. This is King of Wands energy. For me as a reader, the Lion comes out when we're utilizing a mastery and wisdom of resourcefulness and sustainability, specifically with energy and physical vitality. So this is like, I'm gonna rest when I need to, I'm gonna get up when I have to, and I'm gonna make sure I don't burn myself out. I'm gonna act in the ways that I need to at the time that I need to. I'm getting strong Emperor energy in your reading, like very, very strong. Okay, I'm glad that's there. I'm glad that's there because it is saying that like you do have this awareness of like pacing. Okay, thank you. Some of you, this is out here because you need to learn this. Some of you, this is out here because you need to learn how to pace and not burn yourself out, not take on too much, not do so much that like you're breaking your back. I hope nobody has an injury. It's just, this is kind of a high intensity reading and just like the way they're showing me things and just the words that are coming through. Just really make sure you're taking care of yourself through this, okay? I feel like this is a kind of situation or energy where like if you push too hard, too much, like you're gonna hurt yourself or you're gonna get sick or something like that. Like you don't need to go over 100 miles an hour to get there like as fast as possible. Maybe you can go 70 and maybe you can stop for water and a nap here and there. Like, you see what I'm saying? It's like, just make sure you're pacing yourself through this transition, whatever this transition is for you. Can I get another card for my earth signs? Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Couldn't have said it better myself with the horse. Horse is literally the multitasker. So we have a lot of mastery coming in here, earth signs, for you. So master of fire, how to sustain your energy, but also master of earth. The horse is the master of earth in this deck. And again, the multitasker will make sure that they're feeding themselves and they're taking care of themselves and they're hygienic, but they're also hardworking and they're getting everything done, but they're also sleeping. Like, you know what I mean? So this is a really good combination coming out here for you, because it's really speaking to how to make this happen in the most sustainable, healthy way. And yes, the mastery component is very much there. Maybe some of you, that's also part of what the transition is for you, because I keep getting this, like, feels very physical, like your body's feeling it, or it's like you're changing jobs or something like that, or locations, or getting away from somebody or family. Like, it has that feeling. But some of you, this is also just a switch of a mindset too. Like, you're actually clearing out a mindset of overburdening yourself, of overworking, of overdoing, right? For the sake of just achievement, or for the sake of meeting a deadline, or even for the sake of even taking care of other people. Because earth signs, you all hold it down for a lot of people. And this is no, 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 no. We've learned our lessons. We now know, and we have a mastery over this, and shit's gonna be different moving forward. We're not gonna do things the old way. We're gonna do things this way. Yeah, it's definitely got that flavor for some of you. Okay. All right, let's get some tarot out here. Like, even in the beginning, I'm like, I just want to, like, woosah, tranquilo, calm down, it's okay. like, breathe it out, like, everything's okay. All right. Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Don't let anyone push you either. I just got that feeling. Some people might try to push you, and you know better. You know better. And maybe you haven't, like, had a lot of practice in dealing with that, but this is your time to make sure you practice it, okay? Tell me about camel and owl for my earth signs. I would start wearing black and gold. If this is resonating with you, I would wear black and gold and see what that does for you. Talk about camel and owl. Yeah, okay. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is the spark of the sacred flame of the soul. It is passion, it's inspiration, it's want, it's desire, it's motivation. It also, to me, is the ace that coincides with purpose as well. So again, I was seeing the Ten of Wands, and so going from the Ten of Wands to the Ace of Wands, also indicating that it's time to do something differently, or you are going into a whole new direction or a whole new cycle here in terms of how you use your physical energy, but also in how you deal with what you want to deal with and do away with what you don't want to deal with anymore or be burdened by. But this is your driving force. So I like seeing that here for you. Oh, there it went. Okay. Tell me more about camel and owl. Everyone gonna get the tower this week? Hold on. Oh geez. Oh geez. Okay. Look at that. Look at that shit. Ace of Wands, Tower, and the Five of Wands. Holy crap. So very much the apocalypsis card. Very much so. I literally was getting your, like, moving away from rebel. Like, there's nothing left of what you have been operating from or dealing with in terms of this reading. All right. The 5 and the ace indicate there's a 4 of Wands energy here, and I think that's what's being blown up in the tower. 4 of Wands is like stability, foundations, relationships, housing, even. It's like it's the predictable, stable stuff in our life that we are willing to maintain. That's what's being blown up. So whether it is a way of operating, like I mentioned before, or it's literally some sort of very tangible aspect of your life that has had a strong foundation that you have been working in, like a job, like an environment, like a household. The 5 of Wands being here indicates that there has been some conflict here for a while. Internal conflict or dealing with conflict and pressure from other people. And I was getting that too. Like some people may be pressuring you or trying to like, yeah, pressure you. 5 of Wands is indicative of that. But whether this is external shit with other people or your own internal conflict because you know this, like, you know this is too much and it's been overburdening you, the tower is here to clear the decks. Whether you light the match or it's lit for you. This is also why you see that this isn't sustainable. You see that this can't work anymore. And you're like, I gotta go. I gotta move forward. I gotta get out of here, or I have to change my mindset, or I can't work this way anymore. I can't operate this way anymore. Whew. Okay. Wowza. I think that's really clear. I don't really feel the need to clarify that, but I'm kind of curious about the tower. Can I get more about the tower for my earth signs? Some of you guys about getting away from family. I keep feeling a bit of just like a tribal vibe, community vibe. Tell me about the tower. Oh, my throat is closing. Tell me about the tower. Oh, dang. King of Pentacles. So what I'm about to say, don't let it scare you, okay? It feels like something else that's breaking or falling is the King of Pentacles. And this does feel like your energy. It's Taurus. It can be someone else, but I do feel like it's you. This is, for some of you, this is representing your role in a 4 of Wands situation, like a marriage, a commitment, a relationship, a job, a household, a group, a business. King of Pentacles is top dog. King of Pentacles is the one that handles everything, the one that holds things down, the one that people turn to make sure things get taken care of. That is a King of Pentacles. And this is what's crumbling along with the 4 of Wands. Okay. Some of you, this is about the role you've taken on for other people and you don't want to do it anymore. Some of you, this is like, maybe you maybe you are a business owner, or maybe you were in a committed relationship or a business partnership and like you were doing a lot, you were responsible for a lot and you're not doing it anymore. It's very much like the king has fallen or the king exits. If it's voluntary, you as the King of Pentacles are exiting. If it's not voluntary, it may feel like a fall. It's really a liberation, is really what it is. It's really a liberation. Some of you have been doing so much to maintain yourselves in this image or this role or this position as a King of Pentacles, to the point where I think some of you have been burning yourselves out. This is also why we have the lesson of mastery here, of how to really work in a sustainable way, energetically, physically, but also in a balanced way with other people too, in that realm of taking care of things in the earthly plane, but also taking care of ourselves in terms of energy, right? I gotta get one more now for the tower. Can I get one more for the tower with the King of Pentacles? And for some of you, you were pushed into this because of other people. Just saying. I think this is a really good thing for you. I gotta be honest. I think this is a really good thing for you. Tell me about Tower, King of Pentacles. Because some of you, oh God, so much is coming through with this one King of Pentacles card. Some of you with the King of Pentacles, it's like You took on that role because you're good at it. It comes naturally to you, whether people kind of encouraged you to, pushed you to, forced you even, or it just kind of unfolded. I almost want to say it pigeonholed you too. Like it didn't allow for other aspects of you. Like you had to be all about the pentacle, is almost how that feels. Like all about stability, whether it's for you or for other people. It's like, were you allowed to like have a sense of fun? Did you get to have vacations? Did you get to just kind of play and frolic and do for yourself? Did you get to have people show up for you? Like that's the kind of stuff that's coming through. Oh, hello. Hey, Barbie. Oh, Sister Bear. Hi. We had tea and dreams. I appreciate you. I appreciate you too. Thank you so much for the 555. I know you've emailed me. I'm so sorry I haven't gotten back to you. I know you know. So thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, can I get one more for the Tower and the King of Pentacles for my Earth signs? Six of Cups. That says a lot, okay? Because the Six of Cups, it can be a feel-good energy. It is also nostalgia, but it's also patterns, okay? Because it's rooted in the past. It's rooted in childhood memories. It also has ties to family. It also has ties to like soul contracts and soul tribes. It's Scorpio energy. It does have a karmic flavor to it. And so yeah, I feel like there's just been this long-standing history or pattern being in this role or taking on this energy, or people expecting you to take on this energy, right? With the King of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, some of you, this could be tied. I'm very specifically father is the word that's coming through. Some of you, this could be tied to your father, or grandfather, or even like bosses if it's more work like. But I feel like there's a ripple effect of like a patriarchal pattern is what I'm getting here that you've been experiencing. And for those where you are dealing with family, I do think there's something about that with like the patriarchal energy within a family dynamic that's coming home to roost right now. Okay. Lion and horse. Let's take a peek at the mastery. Ooh, okay, I gotta stop for, Earth signs, I gotta stop for a second. I'm hearing going where you're appreciated. So some of you, yes, are getting out of all the things we talked about. And if this is like a physical transition, some of you are deciding to go towards people or environments that will understand you and appreciate you. I'm almost getting like a pair here, almost like a King of Wands and a Queen of Pentacles pair, which is interesting because again, you're coming through as a King of Pentacles over there. But some of you, that is totally that's part of it. Some of you, that's part of it. Doesn't have to be romantic, but I wouldn't be surprised. Some of you, it is like a business relationship. Like you're going from a very underappreciated, overworked and work environment, and then you're going to go and work with someone or for someone who gets you or treats you as an equal and appreciates you. Tell me about Lion and Horse for my Earth signs. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But remember, some of you, this is just changing your work habits and like the way you deal with your own self-care. Lion and Horse, please, for my Earth signs. Well, that's nice. We have Three of Wands. This is looking forward to the future. This is excited. This is anticipatory energy. This is expecting things to come your way. It's a really, really nice energy to have here, which we kind of already knew was happening because you are transitioning very clearly, right? Yeah. Excuse me, we have the Fool coming out here. This is taking leap of faith. This is taking chances. It's also a very brave energy because it's a fearless energy. And yes, I think this transition, whether it is a very like physical, tangible, like changing jobs or houses or something like that, or even tribes, moving from one community to another community, whether it's that or it is just about you functioning differently to have more self-care, it is hard for you because it's breaking some deep patterns and some deep stories around why you've been operating the way you've been operating and why you've been dealing with who you've been dealing with. So it does take a leap of faith because it's a risk, but I think it's one that's going to pay off really nicely. Can I get a third one, please, for lion and horse? Yeah, Knight of Wands. Look at you, all alive. Musical Mystic Tarot. Oh, I like that. Beautiful message. Thank you. Thank you for the $9.99. Beautiful. Wait, what was it again? Beautiful. No, not beautiful. Musical Mystic Tarot. I'm gonna try to remember that. Okay, Knight of Wands, Sag energy. So yes, your passion, your fire, it's coming back. It's coming back. Your excitement is coming back. This is good. This is good. It feels revitalizing. Can I get another card for horse and lion? It's determined, it's excited, it's fearless. It's also like way lighter. Like the Fool compared to that 10 of Wands energy, they're exact opposites. The Fool doesn't carry anything. 10 of Wands carries everything, the Fool carries nothing. Like it's night and day. Some of you, your health is going to improve because of this. Like your body may even feel lighter. Tell me about lion and horse. What about lion and horse for earth signs? Then we're going to move on. Got two more. Damn. Wow. Well, kind of just repeating what we already knew, but Hangman and the Three of Swords. Yeah, you guys were being held up for quite a bit here. Because especially like that 10 of Wands energy, like we can carry the 10 of Wands sometimes for way longer than we need to, and it does hold us back. It does restrict us. And like I said, this is a liberation for you. And yeah, and there it is. There it is. Because this is you moving beyond that. Very nice. Okay. Moving on. Hold on, I'm going to write down musical mystic tarot. Okay. All right. Air or water? It's interesting you guys feel like this. That's interesting. I almost never feel air and water like that. Almost like parallel. Maybe maybe there's like some mirroring going on with air and water. Yeah, I can't decide which one to go with. There's air. Okay, we're gonna go with air. We're gonna go with air. I started already getting messages. I'm like, I don't know what this is for. Okay, so we're gonna do air first. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So I was seeing a ring. Very specific. They're showing me a ring, and it was green. It had a green stone in it. It was really light though. Like I don't think it was emerald. It was too light to be emerald. Maybe like peridot. Maybe peridot. I can't think of another stone that looks like that. Yeah, so a ring with peridot. Rings to me are all about commitment, devotion, promises, like the vow that came through for, who did we just do? Earth. Interesting, and the stone was green. But rings are also symbols of cycles too. Cycles, the infinite. Why are they bringing up the infinite? The infinite. Air signs, there's something coming up here about is there awareness here? There will be. Okay, there will be awareness. There's an emerging awareness of your connections to contracts, obligations, promises, and all of that feels very physical reality. Some of that is non-physical, like soul contracts, as we know, but then the infinite, it's weird. It's like, it's so weird how to feel energy. It's, my channelers get it, but like sometimes when you need to articulate the messages, sometimes it's just bizarre how to like articulate it. So I'm feeling this like literally an energy right here, very in the face, very tangible, very prominent, of like contracts, promises, obligations, whatever it's spoken about. Your ties to these things in your life that fit in that bucket, that fit in those labels. And then I'm feeling like literally over here off to the periphery, off to the side, is the infinite. Have you honored your commitment No, tie. Your awareness and your ties to the infinite. That feels like spirit to me. So air signs, I feel like there's something coming up here about the tangible versus the non-tangible, the physical versus the non-physical in your reality. And where are you in terms of these things? Do you have a balanced relationship with both, or do you really live in one more than the other? It's very interesting. Okay, let's get some cards. Oh, Prenite. Prenite is, yeah, thank you. Prenite is another one. I love Prenite. Oh my God. I used to wear Prenite all the time. That's actually, I should probably wear it again. Now that I think about it, just the energies we're in, I'm like, I probably should be putting that on. I feel like everyone has like their stone. Prenite is probably in my top three like stones that I feel like are just so me, or just really want to work with me all the time. Anyway, rambling. Okay. Pocket archetypes for air, for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. For Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay. Yeah, I think green is going to be a big color for you, air signs. What is Prenite for? Prenite is the healer's healing stone. So why I work with it a lot. So it's really good for mystics. It's really good for people who like literally do energy work or Reiki healing or anything like that. It's really good for helping to clear energy. It helps to ground, but it also really works a lot on the heart space, like a lot on the heart space. So actually, I would say for most people right now, it's probably a good stone to have. Anyway, so okay, one more little thing about Prenite. So Prenite also has deposits typically of epidote. I think that's how you say that. Sometimes I mispronounce these stones. So it'll have like these little like dark like little dark spots, like crystallized speckles in it, and that's epidote. Epidote is interesting because I actually feel like epidote is way more like, it's green, but I feel like it has a very strong like solar plexus vibe to it. Like I feel like when I've worked with it, it's actually given me a lot of energy. Oh, this actually, okay, I'm writing it down. Prenite, I think, is the stone for this month for everybody, because it has that energy in it, right, with the epidote. So it's close to Prenite, obviously. They're like sister stones, but they're very different. They're very different. I would almost argue Epidote evokes more masculine energy and Prenite evokes more feminine energy. Anyway, I digress. Air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Oh, I just had something really weird happen. Oh, some stuff might be going on the right side of your bodies. Air signs, particularly like in the face or the neck. Oh, that felt really weird. Some of you guys, this is just auditory, like, hearing certain frequencies. Some of you guys, it's very physical. I did not like that. That was very strange. Okay, air signs: Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm hearing Sag. You could have Sag in your chart, not necessarily, but they're highlighting Sagittarius. Feeling weird things off these cards. So we have Warrior and the Mentor. I'm feeling weird things here. Because on one end, I feel a challenge. Like almost like the mentor is challenging the warrior. They said that's what you're feeling. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Sometimes you pick up on things and you see them as separate, but they're actually all part of the same message. So there is a challenge happening here, air signs. I feel like you are the warrior energy, and I feel like the mentor energy is coming in to challenge you. Now, the mentor does not have to be a person. Some of you it is. Some of you, to be honest, I feel like it's spirit. This is why they were highlighting the infinite, and it's like over here, and it's like not really being engaged with as much as I think it wants to engage with you. And I'm hearing it's more about balance than anything. Like, remember we got in the collective reading about the earth card being in the world but not of it? I almost feel like air signs, you're almost too much in the world. Or no, I'm gonna say it the other way. You're almost too much of the world, right? But it's like you kind of need to pull back into the infinite a little bit to balance out. This is also why mentor is here. Even like the visual kind of says a lot. You have space literally with the owl. The owl is like a divine messenger, a high priestess, sort of a energy coming in to like teach you something or tell you something, show you something. I also, with this card, I always get a little bit of that Ajna energy just staring at that. So again, I feel like it's mostly just spirit pulling on you, trying to show you something, trying to teach you something, trying to connect with you. Others of you, I think this is a person, and I feel a little pressure. So that reminds me, the collective channel message that I did a couple days ago. It's not on YouTube yet. It will be. It's already, my patrons have already seen it. It's all about a pressure point, and I'm getting that here with you, where it's almost like the perfect pressure in terms of a trigger or an opportunity is like applying the perfect amount of pressure to the perfect spot, to the perfect wound, or the perfect belief, right, narrative, to shift it and to like break things open, basically. For some people, this is going to be a third eye opening, okay? But that's what I'm getting here. Can I get a third card for my air signs? Ooh, yeah. Okay, air signs, buckle up. This is gonna be a week for you. Agape, agap, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's agape. This card speaks to unconditional love and alignment. This is a very spiritual oriented card. It doesn't have really much to do at all with the physical. So yeah, air signs, this is absolutely about embracing the infinite, a little bit more of your non-physical spiritual self and aspects of that in your reality. And I do feel like it's going to help you to align. I also feel like it's going to open you up in some way. I keep getting more the third eye, but this could also open up other things like the heart or the soul or the sacral, etc. Yeah. The card of ultimate truth, epitome of truth on the bottom. Some of you, where this is a person coming through, this is a shared experience between the mentor and the warrior for some people. Okay, not for all of you. You'll know how that applies to you. That's not going to shock you if it's your message. I'm going to put it that way. All right, let's get some animals out here for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, it feels like being aligned and turned on and opened up spiritually. That's what it feels like. Some of you guys, this may be an awakening or an ascension. Got a little sidetracked there for a bit, but snapping out of it and getting back to my inner self. Thank you. You're welcome. And it happens. Ebb and flow, right? We can't be perfectly aligned all the time. Ebb and flow. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What's going on for my air signs here? That mentor is really sticking out to me, right? It's like, doesn't it have that vibe of even just like a guide being like, hey, let me get on your butt about something. It does. It totally does a little bit. Anyway, sorry. Okay. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So some of you guys might start in the solar, which I kind of mentioned is very collective right now anyway. We have dragon. This represents the solar plexus. Dragon to me is about confidence and self-esteem, and actually seeing through the veil of the ego. And I'm actually getting it's your own. Like with this energy going on this week, this is an opportunity to see through I don't know, like the veil cast by your own stories, the veil cast by your own beliefs, by your own narratives, the eye really sticking out again to like open and to see, to really open. There's all this emphasis about being opened up here, air signs. So you guys could work with dragons. We did have dragon energy coming in before we went live. The cards are freaking out now. Tell me more for my air signs. I see. Snake, tapping into untapped potential. Also, we have some sacred geometry going on here. There's a little bit of, lighting things up, opening things up, waking things up in all the ways you interpret that. Also, this is reminding me of the channel message. I'm going to try to get it posted tomorrow. Maybe even tonight. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it because I think both of these cards came out in that channeled message. And there was some stuff in reference to certain lineages and bloodline stuff. We don't need to get into that right now. But I just feel like this is truly about jolting and waking up what has not been tuned into yet, what you haven't connected to yet, what you haven't been open to. And it just feels like very just oriented around the spiritual, to be honest, like a DNA activation or an awakening or an ascension is like how this is coming through. But I also feel like this is about waking up your own potential, like creative energy, and your confidence, and recognizing and seeing what you're capable of. That's also coming through here. Because I'm also feeling two air signs with like being so focused on more like the earthly plane of things. There's almost been like an ignoring or like hitting a snooze button on your natural talents and your natural gifts and your natural skills. Maybe even the ones that you have been too afraid to even nurture. Yeah, that you've been too afraid to nurture or even look at. And tuning into the spiritual a little bit is going to help get you back to that. What's interesting is that we do have the mouse. This is one of my Virgo cards. The mouse can be anxiety. Okay. It can be straight up anxiety. Keep in mind, if this is more of a like ascension awakening process for you, anxiety is just kind of par for the course. Okay. When we go through stuff like that, it's a lot. It is a lot on the system. Like for people who've never been through it, who like think we're crazy or whatever, like they just have no idea like what it does to the nervous system, what it does to the body, what it does to your energy, what it does to your emotions. Like it's a lot. It's a lot. And when you go through that, you also get very like hypersensitive. And I'm just getting that some of you may feel a little overwhelmed by this. Okay. I'm also getting that some of you are, they're showing me the Nine of Swords. Some of you may try to, they're showing me the mind, almost attach even more to certain ideas and certain narratives as this is happening, as this is occurring, because I want to say it's a comfort, like I'm almost getting like a security blanket. Like if you can get focused on details and figure things out, then you'll be okay or you'll be safe. I feel like it's a safety thing. Some of you, it's a control thing. I'm telling you right now, if this is like how I'm feeling it, like a very spiritual sort of a thing, and more about awakening your passions and awakening your unique skills, whatever those skills are, like really just you as a soul, as the essence of you, there's not going to be a whole lot of intellectual stuff about it. Okay. This is a big like discovery. Actually, I would say your reading is the example of the discovery energy that I keep talking about with the collective right now. So yeah, it might be a lot. Oh, my crown is starting to hurt. My crown is starting to hurt. It may be a lot, but just be in it. Just be in it and allow yourself to discover things, feel things, and just be in it. This is my advice there. Okay. All right, let's get some tarot out here. Using the unicorns. One more shuffle. Yeah, I want to get in that dragon energy. Ooh, we have Ace of Cups on the bottom. Tell me about dragon. Ooh, I can feel the heat. Can feel the heat off the dragon already coming through. Can feel the fire. Tell me about dragon for my air signs. For Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Yeah, Ten of Pentacles. Like I said, you're very involved in the earthly plane, and I feel like this is highlighting that. Your focus has probably been your legacy, your future, investments, work, your own stability you want for the future, housing, things like that. Your focus has been there, so not surprising that that's there. Yeah, looking down the barrel of the future, Again, a lot of you have been focused on the earthly side of this, but looking down the barrel of the future, there's more than just the physical. right? There's more than just like how we have material security or stability. There's also how we enjoy life. How do we live life? How do we love life? Who are the people we're surrounded by? What experiences do we want to have, right? It's more than just the pentacle. And I think this is also something you're recognizing in this moment, okay? Can I get another card for dragon? Wow, judgment in the world on the bottom. Oh my God. Heavy hitting majors coming through for you on this. The world indicating major cycles and lessons closing out to open new ones, but judgment is Pluto, judgment is fire, judgment is about awakening what has been long buried or awakening what has never been seen before, okay? That is judgment energy. It's also the hand of spirit, in my opinion. And I feel very strongly that this is just part of that mentor energy, looming in, flying in overhead, so to speak, to get you to see this about the path you've been walking and why you've been handling things a certain way as far as like the earthly plane and what else you haven't seen. Hence the awakening part of the judgment card. Can I get another card for judgment? Can I get a card for judgment? Can I get a card for judgment? Temperance, but putting your awareness on the imbalance of things. Exactly what I was saying before. Temperance is a card of moderation, patience, harmony, restoration, healing. It's also a card of divine timing. Both of these have angelic energies tied to them. So again, I do feel like there's some definite interference or pulling on you from spirit, okay? But yes, trying to get you to see where balance needs to happen in your life, okay? All right, let's look at snake. Tell me about snake and the air signs. Six of Wands, love it. Six of Wands is a card of victory, but it's also a card of recognition and accolades and being witnessed here. It's also a card of success. There's something about what is awakening within you, what you're remembering as far as your own skills, your own passion, or again, if you are going through some sort of ascension process, it's being seen by other people. It's being witnessed by other people. Some of you, that's part of it. Like, maybe you've put a pause or snooze on your social life, okay? And honestly, like fun, like just fun across the board. But this is much more social though. This involves other people. Yeah, it has this feeling of like returning to the spotlight or returning to social life is what I'm getting with that. Tell me more about snake. Yeah, beautiful. The Fool coming out again. Earth signs also have the Fool card come out if you have any Earth in your chart. But the Fool is fearless, taking chances, taking risks, being lighthearted, being ready and willing. Being ready and willing. With this discovery that's happening with you, or remembrance that's happening with you, again, with like your skills, or passions, or again, like some sort of ascension, if you will, it's prompting you to take a really big risk. And I almost want to say away from the Ten of Pentacles. It feels a little bit like going back to something. Like going back to something. Again, like going back to a social life, or going back to being seen or witnessed in your skills. Some of you, have had experience or have certain talents that are about being witnessed. Like it feels very Leo to me, which Six of Wands is Leo, right? So I'm trying to think of an example. Like that could literally be like acting, singing, preaching, where it's like where people are watching you do your thing, essentially. I keep feeling it's like about going back. Like to go back, to go back, to go back, to go back. You need to go back, you need to go back. It's interesting. Can I get a third card, please? And again, some of you is just about going back to social life. Seven of Pentacles, evaluating, taking stock. Again, I feel like you're being called to move away from this Ten of Pentacles, whatever this is. But the Seven of Pentacles is indicating that you're evaluating what you actually have from this Ten of Pentacles and what you can do with it. What you can do with it, how it can support you, even if you're moving away from the 10. Almost like how it can support your next endeavor. Ooh, air signs. Also giving vibes of the collective messages that have been coming through of taking the like dead end energy and alchemizing it to create the gem, right? That's also what I'm feeling with you. Yeah. Like, okay, I need to move away from this Ten of Pentacles, but let me like take what I can from it and then take it to my next venture, to my next chapter. Okay. All right, mouse. Let's look at the mousy mouse for my air signs. Tell me about mouse. For Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Hierophant, what's right, what's not right. Hierophant is beliefs, values, obligations, commitments, what was coming up in the very beginning, right? Could also be about spirituality and mentorship. I feel like it's about commitments. Some of you may be worried about certain things you have committed yourself to or you've tied yourself to and like how to undo that. Or do I honor this and kind of go and do what I need to do now? And like, can I shift but still hold this up? Like, and some of you, it's also a question of if this even is the right move, but I think you know it's the right move. Some of you may go through a bit of a rewriting of your beliefs as a result of this. Tell me more about mouse. Some of you are afraid of disappointing people. Hold on a second. With Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant, also coming out here, yes, some of you, there could be a marriage here. It doesn't have to be, or a business partnership. But I feel like some of you guys are worried about disappointing certain individuals. And I feel like it's individuals that you have been supporting is what I gather there. That also came up in the Earth read a little bit. Tell me more about mouse. Knight of Wands. Yeah, you can't ignore this. Like once your eyes are open to this, once you see this, you can't ignore it. Knight of Wands is Sag energy. It is freedom, it's passion, it's determination, it's going for what feels right. It's going for what feels right. And I feel like you're even challenging the Hierophant, but it's you trying to reconfigure and calibrate things here for yourself in terms of your beliefs and your obligations. Can I get a third card for mouse? And then we'll move on to water. Can I get a third card for mouse, please? Me? Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that confirms it. Two of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, and the King of Cups. You're following your heart and you're following your soul, and only because you've allowed yourself to fully connect to that side of you. The more non-tangible side of you, your heart and your soul, right? With the 10 of Cups and the Two of Pentacles, like I said, some of you could be weighing up certain decisions around family or people that you have been supporting or people you've been obligated to. And yes, for some that can be a business relationship or a marriage kind of situation or someone you live with. But I'm feeling more family than anything. But this is also you making decisions about your own happiness, right? And recognizing that it can't be all about the Pentacles, because to be balanced, you also need the 10 of Cups. This is you allowing yourself to incorporate the 10 of Cups in your life and not just have it be about the Pentacles. Very, very nice. All right, moving on to water. Some of you may, sorry, I know I said moving on to water, but some of you, I just called you fire, air. It's almost like you may, like, if this is also about like a household situation, you may literally just like pack a couple bags and then dip. Like that's also how it feels a little bit. Like it feels kind of drastic for some of you. Like, what do I have in my Ten of Pentacles? What can I take and just move forward? Interesting. Okay, need a little coffee. There's been a lot of coffee in my reality the last few days. Okay, we'll do 50 for water. All right. I feel like for water, I need to like, I don't know, move around a little bit or something, like shake it out. Oh. New timestamp for water, sorry. All right. Oh, water signs. We made it, water signs. We made it. We finally got to you. What's going on with you guys? Oh, you guys feel depleted. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I feel like I need to like be doing things with like my hands. Some of you would actually, yeah, okay. Some of you may benefit from like creative catharsis. Sorry, I was trying to think of a word. Like building something, creating something. There's something restless about your hands. I almost want to say like something is wanting to come out of you. It just feels cathartic. So if you're feeling that way, I would prioritize that. Water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. What's going on with my water signs? Some of you just also may be feeling very physically affectionate. The fact that Venus is opposing Mars this week and we have so much Pluto activity also circulating around Ceres, how we nurture. Some of you may feel like you just really need to be like very affectionate with your loved ones right now. Like I just keep getting like hands, like handsy. Not in an inappropriate way, just like almost like in a comforting, exchanging intimacy kind of a way. Okay, maybe it is a comfort thing. Maybe it is a comfort thing because I'm like, after I said that, I'm like starting to feel anxious. There's a lot with the hands with you, a lot with the hands. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. What's going on for my water signs this week? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah, I feel like you guys really want to nurture this week. Almost like it's insatiable. This is like this is such an interesting vibe. Yeah, like it's insatiable. Like you need to nurture, you need to get your hands on something, you need to like put life into something or bring life to something. It's like what I'm feeling with you. Very creative energy, but also very like loving and nurturing at the same time. It's really screaming Cancer to me. Okay, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Any messages or insights for my water signs this week? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It's very Venus. Oh, geez. Oh, that's why you're feeling that way. That's why you're feeling that way. Again, whoever ends up going last, it's always a doozy. The dead end. So what I was speaking to about the collective message that was coming through in like the last week or so about taking the dead end and alchemizing it into the gem, that's what you're feeling. That's what you're feeling. I would clean house if I were you, like on all levels, like your actual home, a physical detox, like clean. Like take your hands and transmute the dead energy in your life. Like there's something very physical about this. And yeah, some of you could absolutely have healing hands. Like for everybody, energy moves to the hands. That goes to stand true for everybody across the board, in my opinion. Who knows? I could be wrong. I don't think I am, but that's what I think and that's what I feel. And that's what I'm getting. It's almost like there's this insatiable need to take all of the dead energy and create life out of it. Okay. I can't get away from how impulsive this feels. It feels almost like nails on a chalkboard if you don't do it. It's like nagging. It's very, very nagging. You want to bring life to where there's dead shit and get the dead shit out. Some of you could feel this way about even other people, especially for those of you who work with your hands or those who are like masseuses, etc. Or if you do like body work, you could just be really feeling people around you, like, oh my God, let me get that dead shit out of you right now. Like, you know what I mean? It's impulsive. It's impulsive. Tell me more for water signs. Oh, water signs. I think we need a collective hug. It's weird because the cards I'm about to show you, it's like, it looks like such a downer. It feels more impulsive, fiery, intentional than it does heavy and sad, but the cards look heavy and sad. We have tear and orphan. It's like, can water signs get a fucking break? Do you need me to explain this? I mean, tear, that's purging, that's grieving, that's clearing emotionally. That's exactly what you're trying to do, like, right? It's like clear out the dead things. Orphan speaks to abandonment stuff, abandonment wounds, rejection, insecurities, fears, fears of loss, fears of being rejected, fears of being, well, yeah, abandoned. So, water signs, I feel like this is about clearing the energy of loss. Okay. In your environment, in your body, in your heart specifically. And for some of you, it's actually, I almost want to say some of you are helping someone else go through this or purge this. Okay. Yeah, that's literally how they're telling it to me. It's about clearing and transmuting the energy of loss and the energy of abandonment and the energy of rejection. The cracks. I'm hearing the cracks. That's what this is. But it's like they're being very specific. I'm talking about like even items. Like if you have items that remind you of like sad things or exes, you don't need them. I'm telling you right now, you don't need them. If you love those things, fine. But if you look at those things and they remind you of like troublesome times, that energy is there in your environment and you're connecting with it, even if it's momentary, even if it's for a moment, right? Like I'm talking all levels here, okay? But some of you, I think, are also helping someone move through these kind of energies, or somebody could be really in their feelings too around you, okay? Lord have mercy. Interesting. We also have the sustainer on the bottom. Some of you, this is also pertaining to emotions that you just deal with, you just push through. That you're just like, it's who I am. I'm desensitized. I'll just carry this shit around. It's fine. I'm just gonna keep things going and moving and grooving. The sustainer is also an energy of people who like hold it down, right? Get things done, wake up, do all the things they need to do, and go to bed. And sometimes this card also speaks to people who are doing like thankless work and who are underappreciated. Some of you are very underappreciated, but I got to be honest, some of you, it's actually you just not appreciating yourself because you're continuing to carry this energy around of not being good enough, or being the one who's left behind, or being the one who's rejected, or being the one that people don't recognize, or being the one that people are uncomfortable with, etc. Some of you, I keep getting like these different scenarios where like for some of you, there is someone around you or someone you know that's moving through these really deep emotions or has them, and they are underappreciated. Like they sustain for themselves, they sustain for others, but deep down they feel rejected, they feel underappreciated, they don't feel seen. And if that's the case, as a water sign, you probably see that. You probably see that. Yeah, it has that flavor too of like when am I going to be seen? When am I going to get helped? When am I going to get the support that I need? When am I going to get the love and nurturing that I need? Again, the nurturing component here, right? Is that ever going to happen? Do I deserve that? Is that even available to me? Like these are things that are coming up here. Whether it's your own stuff or it's someone around you. Had to have a heavy read, huh? Just had to. Okay, let's do animals. Talk about being watery, yeah. Oof. They're also bringing up the dead end again. All of the things I'm talking about in terms of the sustainer, the tier, the orphan energy, it needs to end. I'm gonna rephrase that. That sounded very pushy. You would really benefit from this not affecting you anymore. Okay? Or if it's someone around you, they would really benefit from this not affecting them anymore. It feels like, hey, we can't go any further with this. We need to drop this right here, right now. It's like they're almost showing me like you're walking down the street and you're hitting certain milestones and you're getting to like a crosswalk and it's like the stop sign and it's like, okay, drop it now before we take another step further. Like that's literally how it's feeling. Okay. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Rabbit. Hypervigilance, fear, anxiety. Rabbit, typically, not in this deck, interestingly enough, but typically as a medicine, rabbit is about abundance and fertility and luck. But in this deck, it speaks to fear specifically and like being anxious. I feel that hardworking energy though with the rabbit. Rabbit may be coming up as a synchronicity for you. I'd pay attention to that. When you've seen rabbits, okay, that's super specific. Oh, I see. Yeah, across the board is synchronicities, not even just like a physical rabbit, but like a rabbit charm or a rabbit picture or whatever. Think about the times you've seen rabbits recently. There's something about those moments that are being highlighted. Hold on. Bubby, you want to join us? He's like, whatever. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, so that's super specific. If any of you have been seeing like rabbit synchronicities, they're really highlighting, recall when you have come across them, what was going on in those moments. What were you thinking about? What were you feeling? Where were you? Who were you with, right? That's interesting. Because something else with the rabbit, they're super sensitive to noise, right? They kind of have a high alertness to them, which is also why they're hypervigilant. I'm getting this feeling of like being on the lookout, like keeping your ears and eyes open. Well, that's hypervigilance. Almost like you're waiting for a cue or something. So whoever needs is playing with one of my bracelets. Actually, that's my Prenite bracelet. So if you weren't here for the Prenite talk, there's a whole Prenite talk. I think we did it in the air sign reading. He's literally playing with my Prenite bracelet. Probably an indication I should be wearing it. Okay, sorry, coming back. Yeah, so water signs. Whoever is the one moving through these really heavy emotions here, I feel like they are, yeah, on alert for the clues to run, to be honest, or like on the lookout for the clues of, oh, I'm going to experience this again. 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 That's what it feels like. Yeah. Trying to find the signs, the words, the actions, the behavior, the situations that will leave them feeling that orphan energy again. Loss, abandonment, rejection. And again, it could be you, it could be someone you're dealing with. But here's the tricky thing about that, right? When we're looking for something, we'll find it, right? Because we're operating out of fear, which is an illusion, right? Well, not always, but you know what I mean. And if we're operating from fear and we're looking actively for something, we're going to see it, whether it's actually a threat or not, right? Hope he doesn't lose it. He does lose my crystals and stuff all the time when he makes toys out of them. Okay. Anything else from your water signs? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yep, there it is. Anticipating. Gazelle. Literally 2 cards about watching and observing and taking in information. I feel like this is literally waiting for the shoe to drop. That's what I'm looking at with you, water signs. You're just waiting for the shoe to drop. There may be specific situations that bring up this fear or bring up these emotions or bring up this trigger. It could be work-based, it could be friendship-based, it could be relationship-based. It doesn't really matter, because you'll know how it translates for you, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm looking at someone who's just waiting for the shoe to drop and just waiting to be proven right about their own, well, confirmation bias, really. I'm going to continue. That sounded like a knock. All right, anything else for my water signs? Oh, interesting. We have deer. What was that? That was a knock. That was a knock at the door. I'm expecting a couple people for different things, but they didn't give me a time. And I operate on time. When it's a work day, I need a time. So I just did me. So anyway, sorry. I'm a little annoyed. Can you tell? Okay, so now we have deer. Deer is the mother principle. She is the divine feminine principle in this deck specifically. This card specifically is about compassion and love and gentility and grace and beauty. She is the mother. She is the empress, which is very interesting because, okay, maybe this is why I kept getting like you and like, or maybe someone around you, because I feel like there's this hypervigilance going on, waiting for the shoe to drop, waiting to be orphaned, right? But if you're looking at a deer, that is the ultimate mother who most likely would not even do that, right? So I think for a lot of you, this is about like you and another person potentially. The deer can represent an opportunity or a situation where you can be nurtured and you can be held and you can be safe, but you have to recognize that. You have to see that. So I'm going to say that again. Yes, this could be a person, or it could, hold on, is that them? Yeah, I think that was the maintenance guy. So the show must go on, yes. Anyway, so if this could be a person or this can be a situation, either way, person or situation, it's an experience where you don't have to be the orphan anymore, where you can be nurtured, you can be safe, all that good stuff. But if you're living in this view and this perception, are you even going to see this? To experience this, you got to deal with that. That's got to go away, right? Okay, let's get some tarot cards out here. Can I get a card for rabbit? My water signs. Can I get a card for rabbit? And for some of you, this is also about moving through that orphan energy to become the deer. Okay, so quite a few ways this is coming through. Tell me about the rabbit. For my water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Okay. Water signs is going to be an interesting reading. We have 6 of Wands with the rabbit. This is fear coming up around getting attention. So attention is happening. I want to say you're receiving attention, you're getting attention. Some of you, this is actually a really positive thing. Like maybe it's even something you wanted. Maybe you're even being recognized for something really positive, but it's kind of bringing up a little bit of anxiety. It's bringing up anxiety for you. Tell me more about the rabbit. Tell me more about the rabbit. They keep bringing up rabbit as a synchronicity. Okay. Because I mean, you know, I know we watch reads. I think everyone here clearly watches readings, right? and believes in signs and synchronicities and all that stuff. Some of you may be getting confused of certain signs and synchronicities. They're saying rabbit is a true synchronicity. Like they're really highlighting like pay attention to the rabbit synchronicity if you have been confused about anything. Oh my God, water signs. Okay, okay. It's getting lighter. The reading's getting lighter and it's making me very happy. 6 of Wands and the 3 of Cups. This is totally being confronted with positive attention. Okay. And it's kind of freaking you out a little bit. It's just making you very anxious, but it's literally like fun celebratory times coming up for you, or you're being invited in, or there's an opportunity to experience it, and it's making you very anxious. It's almost like you don't know if you can trust it. You don't know if you can trust it. Can I get a third card for the rabbit, please? The World. Yeah, okay. So kind of like what I was saying before about the channel message of the pressure point. Water signs, this is your pressure point. Positive attention is your pressure point, which like, I know hearing that is also kind of sad, but it makes sense with the orphan card coming out because you really don't know if you can trust it. And it's applying pressure to this orphan wound here, which is why it's making you anxious and why you're not sure you can trust it. But the World card is saying, it's time, let's be done with this now. These are good things, these are good times, these are supportive, fun environments and or people. Let's be done with this now so you can finally just experience this. That's your pressure point. It's actually making me kind of sad, but that's the pressure point. Tell me about Gazelle. For my water signs, tell me about Gazelle. This is also watching and observing. The Gazelle actually has a flavor of expectation to it versus the rabbit. Rabbit's just like, what's happening? Gazelle is like, this, I think this is going to happen. I think this is going to play out. Tell me about Gazelle. Queen of Cups. The pressure point right to the heart with the Queen of Cups. Cancer energy, also energy of the mother as well. There is this knowing as well, water signs, like if this is you experiencing it versus someone around you, again, whoever's experiencing it, there's an awareness that there is a yearning for the Queen of Cups. There's a yearning for nurturing. There's a yearning for emotional safety. Emotional safety, emotional safety. Okay. Tell me more about the Gazelle. Oh, with the 9 of Cups, the desire for emotional safety. Emotional safety and also joy and feeling at home and safe within the self. That's also coming through here. There's a feeling of home. Cancer is very home-like, but the 9 of Cups is feeling home within the self as well. Emotionally secure and confident within the self and happy within the self. So yes, there's, again, this is all around the energy of the orphan. You know you want this. You know you crave this experience. But you need to shift your expectations from orphan to I am at home within myself and I am emotionally safe with other people. Can I get a third card for Gazelle? For water signs? Can I get a third card for Gazelle? All right. Queen of Swords, discernment. There's something else going on with the Queen of Swords. I'm almost feeling like a spiciness. There's a sharpness that I'm getting with the Queen of Swords here. Oh, is this a choice? Yeah, I think this is a choice. Because Queen of Swords can also speak of perspective and beliefs, right? And as we've been speaking on, Queen of Cups is kind of key here because it is what you want to experience within yourself and with other people. The Queen of Swords, I'm literally getting like a sharpness, almost like a sharp judge. But this is all about beliefs and the mind and communication. And I feel like this is actually enabling the orphan energy a little bit. Queen of Swords is also highly independent. Queen of Swords is like the divorcee, the widower. She/he is the independent solo queen, while the Queen of Cups is quite the opposite. So yeah, I'm feeling like the Queen of Swords is almost enabling the orphan. Can I get another card for the Queen of Swords, please? Can I get a card for the Queen of Swords? King of Pentacles. Okay, we're getting a little deep here, water signs. Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles. I am feeling what I was already getting before, like a bit of a harsh, critical, a little pessimistic kind of an energy, and a little guarded. But with the King of Pentacles, with the Queen of Swords, this is screaming, I am highly independent and I can take care of myself. It's screaming that. But I also feel like there's judgments going on as well. Some of you are judging a King of Pentacles energy. Male or female doesn't matter. But King of Pentacles came up before with earth signs, actually. King of Pentacles is an energy that's highly responsible and holds shit down, right? Whether it's a household, a business, they have a lot of resources. They're very, very responsible. And I feel like some of you guys are judging a King of Pentacles person. That's not all of you, but some of you absolutely are. I feel like most of you, this is about how independent you are on your own and how strong you are on your own. And it's almost like I can keep being that way, or I can do the scary thing, right? And get into that orphan wound here. It's up to you. It's up to you. Let's look at the deer and then we'll close this out. Tell me about the deer. For my water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Justice. Justice. That's what's deserved. Is that Queen of Cups, mother, dear, emotional safety, nourishment, compassionate, feel-good energy and experience with other people and within yourself. That is what is deserved. Tell me more about deer. Some of you guys, King of Pentacles is a woman. I think that's why they have me emphasize the non-gender specificity of it. Sometimes when they have me do that, because, you know, most people who watch me are women. It's just part of the demographic. That a lot of you would assume this is a man, but I actually think over a lot of you, this is a woman. All right, deer. Tell me about deer. Tell me about deer. For my water signs, can I get 2 more cards, please? Yeah. Oh, jeez. The justice with the deer is also balancing out the pain here and the heartbreak. It's very healing and, again, very nourishing and soothing to the soul and to the heart. 1 second, please. All right, let me get a final card and then I gotta dip out. All right, let's see what we have here. Hi, sorry, I'm on a work call right now.
You can come back in a few minutes.
Okay, can you come back in like 15? Hello? Clyde, come here. Come here, buddy. I don't know if you left the door open or not. Okay, moving on. Sorry, I'm like, oh, that made me so annoyed. Just walking right into my apartment. Whatever. Okay. Sorry. Coming back. Emperor, the Sun, and the 4 of Pentacles here. Coming in after Justice and the 3 of Swords. Sorry, I'm trying to get refocused. It just really irks me. It really, really irks me when people just don't, like, I don't know, schedule shit, like things like this, when people got their own lives and shit going on, and when they don't have respect for your fucking space. Like, I live here. I live here, dude. I live here. Like, anyway, I'm sorry. Sorry. Coming back. Emperor, the Sun, and the 4 of Pentacles. The Sun is definitely joy and illumination and new beginnings. The 4 of Pentacles can be very, like, closed off, right? And with the Emperor coming out here, it's highlighting masculine energy, which I find interesting because that King of Pentacles kind of screams masculine energy too. And there's so much here about embracing the feminine. And I feel like the pain that is trying to be soothed here is, again, all around safety and security, more on the emotional end, but there seems to be this almost tilting of the hat to material stability as well. Having this justice with the deer and the Queen of Cups energy and all of that nourishment and love and compassion, exchanging that with other people or even with yourself, that is what will bring the sun. And that is what will open up the heart a little bit and also help you to feel just generally more safe. And finally, be done with this orphan wound here. Okay. So yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm so annoyed. Let it out. I've been going through this, random people inviting themselves over unannounced. Talk about okay, because here's the situation. So I'm leaving, right? Obviously. And I get that like there's things that have to be done, but I'm still fucking here. Like it's basically just the maintenance guy coming in to paint the walls while I'm still here. And I was very clear, I'm like, okay. Sorry, I'm venting now. I can't help it. So my property manager was basically like, oh, he's going out of town and all these things and da da da. And she actually wanted him to come like days ago when I was like barely home, like barely back to even pack. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna work for me. It's like, hard no. Well, he really needs to get in there. And I'm like, I haven't even moved all this stuff off the walls, so he even knows what to paint. Like, that kind of has to happen first, don't you think? So the last day was today before he goes on vacation, which I get. Like, hey, do your vacation, do your thing, but that's also not my fucking problem. Like, just be very frank about it. And yeah, just the like, oh, okay, he'll come over Monday, and like not giving me a time or anything. Like, she knows I work from home, and I made it very clear, like, okay, well, a time? No time? No? Okay, whatever. Anyway, sorry. While you're there, no, he can paint when I'm good, right? It's like, so I'm gonna awkwardly sit here while he paints my walls, like with all my shit everywhere. Like, anyway. I know these like are not problems. It just feels like my space is not respected, you know? Awareness of other people and think they are the center of the world, not your problem. It's not your problem, right? Yeah. It's like, and you know I fucking work from home. That ain't new. That is not new information. Whatever. Whatever. It's not a problem. Okay, I'm done. I'm done venting. Thank you for letting me vent. Thank you for your time and your energy. We appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys too. Gratitude always. Love you and love to Clyde. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, I think he's still nosing about here somewhere. Oh, hi, buddy. He's like literally standing right behind me. I feel you. We were just talking about safety and security at home. Yeah. I do not do unannounced. Yeah, like. Anyway. You guys know me. I don't get annoyed that easily. I really don't. But like, my safe space is my safe space. And I am very territorial about my safe space. And also, I care about my work. And so I don't like to be interrupted because when you're channeling, you're in it, right? And then if you get interrupted, it's really hard to come back. Anyway, sorry. I'm gonna go. I love you guys. Like I said, Capricorn, Pisces will definitely post this week. And as far as the other sign readings, whenever I have the time and or space to do them, I will do them. And my patrons, I think you guys already know that. I love you guys so much. Have a great week, a great full moon, and a great night. And I'll see you guys later, okay? Bye, guys. Take care.